Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart, I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. This reading will be for Capricorn and all Capricorn placements found within your birth chart or wherever you have 10th house in your chart or transiting 10th house. This reading will resonate whenever you find it. Just know it's meant to find you. We're going to talk about some astrology. Of course, we are entering or entered into Scorpio season, but we will highlight what's coming up for you, what's been coming up for you in October, and what's ahead. Of course, the general love reading is below as well, so check that out if you want to go deeper into a love reading. And also check out my Patreon. I have the lunar eclipse in Pisces reading, which really sets the tone for this upcoming transit into Pisces North Node. And also on Patreon, I have the Jupiter and Gemini reading. Jupiter is now stationed retrograde, and the Saturn in Pisces reading. And on Patreon, you have access to all the love extendeds. So if you like my style, go support your girl. I have an extension also of the post-eclipse reading that I did on my channel. All those links are below to check it out on Patreon as well if you want to go deeper into your sign. All right, Capricorn, let's get into your reading. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to this space. Thank you for joining me here. Thank you for finding me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, thank you. Thank you for your support, your likes, your comments, your shares, your subscribes, all that good stuff. It is my honor to get to share these messages with you. Again, check those links below, my website, my helpful links, whatever channeled guidance comes up for you, songs, affirmations, you name it. I like to support you as much as possible with whatever does come through, okay? So although this is time-stamped October, again, we are now kind of feeling into Sun in Scorpio. I usually try to get all my readings out beforehand, but man, it's been a doozy. This eclipse cycle has been definitely asking a lot of us, actually, a lot of my private clients and myself included, friends, family, you name it. There just seems to be this kind of, the word that's coming to mind is catharsis. I don't know why that's coming to mind. I want to kind of look up what that means, but cathartic, like catharsis, like dehydration or tired. I don't know why that word came in so strongly, but maybe it resonates for you. But yeah, just a bit more subtle is how I want to put it. This reframing that we've been doing in September, and again, Pluto is still in your sign. I highly encourage you to watch that September reading if you haven't. It was very nostalgic, and I guess that's kind of that subtlety that I'm feeling for you and the collective is there's a lot going on in the world, let's be honest. In that post-eclipse full moon in Aries reading, I go into more detail if you want to know more what's going on astrologically for everyone, and the collective reading as well. The link is below. But solar flares, we're at the peak of this sun cycle, and we're right at that last degree Capricorn of Pluto and Capricorn. So you're feeling it. I know you are. I know you are. I know you are, but what am I? You get a little sassy, Capricorn. I think that with any sort of shift, especially Pluto, it's a major cycle. There's that wobble effect, much like eclipses, right? And then again, wherever you are in the world, there's things happening all over the world. And the impact of this solar flare activity, there is again, this like tension that's applied. And now Jupiter is retrograde in your 6th house. There is a bit of tension, and tension can be a good thing. You know, we have to be able to really see that Saturnian quality of life. As humans, Saturn is and will always be one of our closest friends, as I like to say. It's an ally, whether we fail to believe that or not, Capricorn. And I say this for you, this is coming up for you because Saturn is your ruling planet. Most Capricorns, whatever placement you're watching for, you got to go through some tough lessons, you know, and a lot of Capricorns that I know, and I work with children as my main gig, and the Capricorn children that I've known, man, are they old souls. They just have this sense of, it's like a very calm, kind of stoic demeanor. But then they also have this very altruistic, this word came up for you as well in the notes here in the meditation. You know, they're the provider. Capricorns make great friends. They're very stable and you know, of course, depending on your chart, right? And yes, there's certain circumstances where you might not feel so stable, but you know, on the outside, you keep a good exterior. Let's just put it that way. And you have this kind of witty anti-humor to you. And so even with all this stuff going on and this tension applied is what I'm getting at here, Capricorn, is I think that you're maintaining, or Spirit wants you to know that you're going to be okay. We're all going to make it through, and we have to remember that we are resilient, we are strong, we are capable. We are wrapping up a strength year, okay? And if you follow me on Instagram, I have been obsessed with lions as of late. I am just mesmerized by their presence, you know, and I love nature. I love animals, but when you just feel drawn to something for who knows God what, it just came up to me and I was like, man, I don't even know how I got so fascinated by this presence. I've been doing more ancestral work for myself and also reaching out to clients. I have an ancestral healing reading if you want to dive into your ancestry. Saturn, right? Karma, a past life karma, you name it. And yeah, lions have been coming up for me, and there's this strength that we're all pulling on, the final reserves, you know, the bottom of the tank for you. You're right at the end of that Pluto and Capricorn, and you still got that reserve. I see like there's this reservation you're making. Maybe you are traveling somewhere, making a reservation right now even. But there's some reservations around something as well as what I'm hearing for you. Maybe you're a bit more reserved as well, you know, like most of us are right now. Again, there's this subtle, God, the music just got so loud. Maybe you feel like things are so loud, and so you're like tightening up, you know, and maybe that's not normal for you. Maybe it is, where like sound sensitivity, big crowds, that kind of thing could be annoying you. Right? And maybe you're like, why is this so annoying all of a sudden? Why can I not handle this presence or these people? This could be dealing with a relationship, right? And then I also got for you, I can see clearly, you know, because you are at that 29th degree. Again, wherever you have Capricorn in your chart, it's going to impact you. And the 29th degree is like the degree of rest. It's Pisces. Saturn and Pisces. So there's a lot of this just remembrance and pulling on the last final reserves that we have in our tank and just saying, you know what? I got this. You got this. You have a higher vantage point now, where whatever age you are, whatever you can recollect from the last 20 some odd years that Pluto's been in your sign. You know, again, it's nostalgic. I would want you to feel nostalgic. I don't want you to look back, Capricorn, and regret. I want you to try to reframe as much as possible. And this is not to just talk about toxic positivity and love and light and blah. No, you know, I'm talking more about resilience here, because we all get handed some cards sometimes. Saturn, you know this very well. But it's all with how we perceive life. What are we grateful for? What are we being humbled by with Jupiter going retrograde? What are the small things that we could be grateful for that Jupiter has gifted us? What are the lessons that we might have not perceived as lessons, Saturn, in our lives, that maybe now we're starting to understand the value in those challenges? Okay, Capricorn, so let's get into your reading. I love when messages just come up. Catharsis, catharsism, that's a religion. That word is sticking out to me. I know I want to look it up, but I'm recording on my phone and I don't have my laptop near me. So I'm probably going to look it up after I stop recording your reading though, because I want to look into more of the meaning, maybe even like some symbology there. I don't know why it's striking a chord. I'm seeing a mummy. I'm seeing I kept hearing dehydrated. Are you dehydrated? Water is so important right now. We are in a grand trine, okay? And I didn't even really touch on all the astrology for you. Again, we did talk about the 6th house influence briefly there. Jupiter retrograde in your 6th house, okay? And again, that Patreon reading, I go into more detail on what this means for you, because this is going to be in Gemini till May 2025, and it will go direct February 2025, and we'll have that moment before it shifts into Jupiter in Cancer. Okay, where do you have Gemini in your chart? Also, I wanted to highlight quickly here Mars in Cancer. It's going to be exiting Cancer as of November 4th, and that's your 7th house. Any sort of Cancer placements, Cancer month, July is always going to highlight your 7th house. So Mars in the 7th house, it is a very action-oriented time around relationships, taking action, taking steps in the right direction, with whether you are single, happily married, whatever you are, you know, you're taking steps, you're being urged to take strides. Even as there's this more subtle energy asking us to rest, you know, this last 29th degree, we still do need to make steps forward. And I think of Capricorn in that way, one step at a time. But you're progressing nonetheless, right? Even if it might be small baby steps, you're still progressing, okay? Give yourself that credit, especially when it comes to relationships. Mars in the 7th house can also kind of signify arguments, volatility. It can also talk about like sexual vitality. You know, there can be all of the above and some, you know, it really depends on your relationship with Mars in your chart. And also your relationships in general, right? That can look so different for you. This is a general reading. You can always get a private reading with me to go deeper into that. But yeah, I can spice things up a bit in a good and bad way. But right, some good, some bad, sprinkle of both, spicy. But it will be exiting into Leo in November, and we'll talk about that then, okay? But let's be here now. Let's be here right now. Scorpio. Scorpio, we've been feeling into the Scorpio energy. The sun's now in Scorpio officially, but we've had Venus in Scorpio all of October. Mercury was in Scorpio just last week, I believe it entered. And for you, that's your 11th house. This is a lot of other people. This is others, 7th, 11th, 6th. Your sense of duty, responsibility to your relationships, to your relations, your higher ups, that vantage point. You could be seeking wise counsel. 11th house is also the star, Aquarius. Seeking wise counsel about moving. Yeah, I did. Did I say that earlier? Making a reservation. For some of you, could be traveling, Chariot. This is Cancer, though. This is exactly Mars in Cancer. Wow, Emperor. Hello. Seeking higher ups, that's for sure. You know, what's interesting, wow, okay. Seeking higher ups. Yeah, level up. I just saw Mario taking the mushroom. Well, whatever direction you're going in, I feel like you know where you want to go, and you're like, I don't want to go back here. That's for damn sure. This is Capricorn, Taurus. You're like, I'm done with that. Lack mindset, poverty, hoarding, you know, fear. This is fear. This just screams fear to me. Five of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. The 4 of Pentacles in reverse with the Temperance also, you have 4 major arcanas here with the Queen of Pentacles, whether you're male or female. So Capricorn, yes, level up. Higher ranking, higher vantage point, seeking higher wisdom, speaking with the higher ups, whoever that is for you. Again, connecting with your ancestors. This is very important for all of us right now. I know it's been very important for me. There is a lot of recovery here. You're recovering from maybe some financial loss as well. You're regaining confidence, whatever you're doing. Again, these are self-focused, but these could be people in your life as well. We have Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Sagittarius. And we have a lot of your energy here. Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, male or female. I see that you're surrendering to whatever losses and you're letting them fall. These swords are falling, right? 3 of Swords in reverse. These are no longer, gravity is no longer holding these swords in place. Let gravity do its job. That's a message for you. Move, right? Allow yourself to move, allow yourself to flow, break free, release, don't hold on. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Whatever needs to go, okay, in your life, whatever that is. And this is going to actually keep you in a place of power. King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag. I see that if this isn't happening for you right now, by Sagittarius season, it will. This could have been a progression as I'm seeing it in the cards, from the Chariot to the Emperor. This is July, and then we have Aries, Taurus. So I feel like it started in July for some of you, maybe even May. But July was a huge catalyst moment for some of you, or again, dealing with a Cancer. But I'm seeing this as, again, you're traveling, you're making reservations, you're moving, you're taking accountability, Emperor. Also, Magician, Jupiter, and Gemini. And then we also have Venus in Sagittarius as of October 17th. Venus in Sag is in your, well, they're your neighbor. Interesting. Second house. You're going to be filling into a lot of second house in November. Because again, Pluto's going into Aquarius, second house for you. Sorry. Venus in Sagittarius is in your 12th house. Interesting. I want to actually pull on that because there's something to that message here. Something is going to shift. Venus is that 7th house. Mars in the 7th house. Remember we talked about applied pressure? Lovers, 10 of Cups. It seems pretty positive. Whatever pressure has been applied. If you felt like you weren't getting the answers, or you didn't know where it was going, or there was so much tension between someone in your life, there will be answers to that coming. Hermit, 10 of Cups. Again, Venus in Sag, it just entered Sagittarius. This is just coming to me to remind you. It is going to be in your 12th house, transiting your 12th house for like a month and a half. It doesn't feel bad though, with all this positive major arcana upright, but I want to ask, what is Venus in Sagittarius bringing to Capricorn, please? Oh, well, Scorpio written all over it. So this is potentially happening right now. Revisiting someone from the past for some of you. Yeah, well, very clearly someone is definitely returning to the past or thinking about the past. Death in reverse, the 6 of Swords in reverse. Both of these cards in Tarot talk about past. Okay, 6 of Swords is movement forward. Okay, this is Aquarius, judgment, rectification, a judgment call. You know, this is a final chance at something, or wanting to rectify something, wanting to bring something back to life, wanting to get answers to something, seeking clarity, getting answers on the past. Venus and Sag. So what's going to happen for a lot of you, because Venus transiting the 12th house for all of November, it is going to bring up hidden things. So 12th house is not bad. It's just, again, it is the house of rest. So if there has been tension, there might be a pause so that you guys can actually recollect things about what's been going on. And finally, things become more clear, judgment around the past, death in reverse. If there is still tension during November, I do see things kind of coming together full circle here. Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, whether you're male or female. Take it as it resonates. But it's interesting that in this deck, you have a lot of the major arcana that were showing up in the other deck, but they're now in reverse. I'll show you here. We have the Magician upright from the beginning, right? I'll show you. There it is. Bam. Wise counsel. But then here it's in reverse. So when I'm asking about Venus and Sag, you might have felt, for some of you, again, this is a general reading, you might have felt that everything was good, all good, relationships are flowing. You felt like it was going in a positive direction. You felt like you had a place at the table, a level of control, autonomy, awareness, balance, Emperor, Magician, Temperance, for the love of God. But there's something about this Venus transiting your 12th house that is going to have things come up. And it doesn't have to be bad, but there is going to be some level of having to think about it. 12th house, rest, Four of Swords. You're going to have to ponder something that's coming up, okay? And we'll talk more about that in November, but I just want to give you a heads up that there might be some applied pressure or tension, even maybe a bit of just tiredness, because this can talk about restlessness. You know, when I see the Magician in reverse with the Temperance, it can talk about just an imbalance, a lack of confidence, a lack of drive or motivation. This can also signify manipulation, substance abuse. But I feel like the best thing, if that's your story, is to rest. That's going to bring you more joy and actually balance. King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, right? There's not much to worry in that arena. I want to actually see more for you, because why is this Temperance and Magician now showing up in reverse? It's good to know both sides is what I'm hearing. It's okay to see both sides of the coin. Queen of Coins. You're going to gain a deeper perspective. You're going to have to see the flip side. As above, so below. Yeah, okay. It's just to gaining, again, from the message from the beginning of your reading, you're gaining a higher vantage point. They're higher ups. You could be literally 12th house is like psychic downloads. This is very spiritual. It's Pisces. So things that maybe were hidden in relationships. General Venus. It also talks about money. Venus is our values, okay? And you also have Pluto going into your second house, and it's going to stay there for 20 years. This is all about what you have, what you can provide, security, emotional and financial security and well-being. And so in order for you to get there, to get that, you're going to have to see it from a higher vantage point, and this Venus transiting 12th house is going to show you that. It's going to show you both sides of the coin. Maybe you or someone you know is going to be humbled by this experience of seeing both sides of the story, the narrative, the coin. Okay? Let's see. Let's get some advice for you. Well, we'll talk more in your... Yeah. You're going to maybe see where someone in your life was like... I just saw abundance and fear. Like, that Five of Pentacles is kind of showing itself in my eye here. And money, like someone was using you for money or success. For some of you, that's coming up here, Death in reverse again. You have Death in reverse twice. So there's a lot around the past coming up for you. It says, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings, but it's in reverse. Thank you, universe. I love when they do this. Empathy. It says, I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. I was just saying that. You're going to be called to do this. Empathy. Empathize, Capricorn, or against someone in your situation. You're going to be empathizing with someone from the past, passed on loved one, or just someone from your past. And this is where you're going to have to gain some courage. There could be, again, that's that Magician in reverse, Temperance. There's something around a lack of courage or responsibility about the past, but you have to look at that. This is that final degree, the final showdown in Pluto. You're like, can I just exit quietly? You can. It's all with how you perceive it. Again, this is tying right back to the beginning of your reading. Okay, so this is a good way to wrap this reading up, and we'll take it to the love reading. Like I was saying, it's a strength year. We're at the end of the year. We are being kind of shown the past year or years. And instead of being like pity party, victim, throwing a tantrum, throwing a fit. Yeah, you can have your tantrum if you'd like, but then can you dust yourself off and try again? Can you get back up? That final reserve, you got it in your tank there. And you might feel a bit aggravated, Temperance in reverse, Magician. You might feel discouraged. Like, I thought this was successful. I thought I was getting somewhere with something, and now this, now why, now that, you know? And I want you to try your best to stay in this temperance energy. It's here. This energy is very present for you, but there's something that's shifting where you might feel like I'm questioning my trust, is what I'm hearing. I'm questioning if I can trust this. All right, Sag. Pull on that final, I'm getting reminded of like a game. I'm seeing the tank again. Pull on that final like last half a tank, but we're not even half a tank. We'll say like a quarter tank, not even a quarter tank. I'm getting reminded of like, you know, in a video game, when you have like that bar at the bottom, it shows you how many lives you got left, like a cat, you know. I still got, you know, 3 lives left. I might have died and came back, you know. It's that kind of thing with the death in reverse. There's something about like feeling torn down, but you get back up. Capricorn, you just get back up again. Emperor, male or female, magician, it's here. You're just going to see the flip side. You're going to be humbled to some extent about something in your life. That's the simple way to put it. You're having to have empathy. You're having to see the other side of the coin, the narrative, the story around the past. Things are coming full circle right before Pluto exits your sign. Of course, Pluto is the death. It's Scorpio. So there's a lot around death for you. It doesn't have to be physical, literal death. Death is about cycles. And that's what's happening for you, Capricorn. Pluto's exiting your sign. So we're going to bring this over to the love reading. Let's see what signs you could be dealing with, Capricorn, my lovely Capricorns. Let's see in love. Who is Capricorn dealing with in love? We're going to take this over to the love reading for you, Capricorn. Again, thank you for joining me here. I hope you enjoyed these messages. Scorpio, of course. Are you dealing with a Scorpio or what? Again, these are talking about time frames as well, transits. I have a 6-month transit reading. If you want to dive into Pisces, yeah. Aries, Gemini, yeah. Aries and Gemini are right here in the middle. You could very well be dealing with those signs. What else? What other signs in love? But yeah, I have a 6-month transit reading on my website, and you can also do synastry transit readings where you can see the transits that are happening for you and your loved one. Gemini. What other signs could you be dealing with, Capricorn? We're going to take this over to the love reading. That link will be below. Whoa, cards are flying here, Cappy. Neptune, so you got double Pisces here. Neptune is in Pisces right now. Still retrograde. We're going to get through it though. These retrogrades will let up in January. Okay. You got here Scorpio. Focus camera. Scorpio, Pisces, Gemini, Neptune. So they could have Scorpio, Pisces, or Gemini in their Neptune, or you could. Okay. Yeah, air sign, any air sign as well. I just saw air pop out there. So you could be dealing with any of these signs that could have an air in their Neptune, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This could talk about Pisces season, which is March, and Scorpio, which is right now. We just entered Scorpio season. So we're going to dive into the love reading. I hope to find you over there. Bye for now.